Good evening and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host Temba Madima. This evening we're chatting to Francois Prinsloo. Yeah, welcome to BackChat. Proudly hosted by Backtrack. Hope you guys are ready for this one. We're gonna have a good time. Make sure to send through your questions. If you are watching from home, wherever you're watching from, just wave at us so we can know you're in the building. We're gonna have a good time. Colin Muraudzi, Indra. Prudy K, I see you. SAPD, we see you. Thank you for joining in, guys. Dayan, LJ, Born Again Fit, I see you. Welcome, everybody. We're just waiting for Francois to join in, all the way in the United States of America. He's gonna be with us shortly. Tabang, I see you. TVM Bullet Misali, P, I see you. Hope you're training. I'm watching you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Solomon's 22. Good evening. We're gonna start shortly with Francois. It is a Thursday. Oh, Umpo Flesh, the jumper. We see you. Hope you're doing well, brother. Good evening, everybody. Inta Mfumi, welcome to you. I'm gonna send the man from the United States of America, no, he's South African, based in America at the moment. I'm gonna send him an invite and see if he's able to log on, and then we're gonna get that going. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We just gonna connect with him shortly. But anyways, let me give you a bit of some updates on track and field in South Africa. Obviously, Olympics are getting closer and closer. The athletes are trying to qualify. So we can expect a lot of exciting things. Next week, there's another competition coming on. Athletes will be trying to qualify all over the country. Tuks has a competition. Cape Town as well. There's some competitions there. So we'll see. Let's see. We want to see more South Africans qualifying. In America, the guys are doing well as well. As well as African champs coming up soon. So the athletes will be preparing and getting ready for that one. And then it's the big one, Olympic Games. I see you, Lene de Villiers. Welcome, Brendan van der Merwe, Tariq, Keen, Mutuki Isi. I see you. Welcome, guys. All right, just giving Francois Prinsloo a chance to log on. And then we're gonna get started. Yeah. Welcome to Backtrack. Come on. Hope you guys are there. Okay, give him a moment. He's gonna be on soon. Zipo, welcome to you. Ada here, welcome. Karabo Peter. He's an interesting young man. He's recently done amazing things. We'll get to all of that information at the moment. But I mean, he's still young, but he's done quite a bit in his young career. Once you hear what he's achieved, you'll be really surprised. Looking forward to this one. It's always nice having the throwers in the building. We know the sprinters have been doing phenomenally. Gif Leotela recently ran a 10.19 in Europe. So he opened up his European season this week, running a 10.19 in that competition against another African, Arthur Cisse, who was first in their run. So a lot of positives as we head towards Olympics. Patuchedzo obviously also doing amazing stuff. He's also competing in the next week or so. So let's see what the guys are gonna do. Aha, there's the man we're waiting for. There he is. He's just entered the building. So I'm gonna just give Mr. Prince an invite, and then we're gonna I'll go live with him in a bit. Okay, sending you. Thanks for waiting, guys. Sorry for the delay, but we should be live any moment with him now. Good evening and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host, Temba Madima. Yo, Francois.
Hey, what's up? Fine, isn't it, man?
I thought you're not coming on. What's happening?
Nothing much, man. I just quickly went to go freshen up a bit, and I'm back.
All good, man. Yeah, man. It's a pleasure to chat with you. I see you're causing a lot of havoc that side in the United States of America. Uh, and yeah, that's exciting to see, man. How you doing? How you been?
It's been interesting, man. It's been a exciting couple of weeks. Hey, lots of stuff happening, like you say. Things are getting crazy this side. I
Yeah.
mean, my plan was to come here and cause some havoc. And now that I'm doing it, I'm kind of like throwing myself, and I'm like, whoa, wait, what am I
Whoa.
doing right now? I'm like, whoa, I need to slow down.
Yeah, man. It's good to see, man. We always, it's so exciting because you know, the more you guys go that side and you break the mold and you perform that side, just shows that South Africans are able to adapt, man, and that's been good to see. I mean, you're still young, man. You're still young. But we'll get into all of that. Before we get into the full conversation, I'm just gonna do an introduction, so that people who are watching know exactly who we're dealing with, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
All right, super. Ladies and gentlemen, with us this evening, we are chatting to Francois Prinsloo. Listen up. Listen very carefully. He is the African Under 20 Championship discus throw silver medalist, African Under 18 or Youth Games discus throw gold medalist, Youth Olympic Games discus throw finalist. He's also African Under 20 Championship shot put finalist, SA Under 20 discus throw champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Francois Prinsloo.
Thank you. You came with the sound effects and everything, man. This feels surreal. This feels surreal.
It's crazy, man. Like, if people don't know you, they think, this guy's been throwing for a while. You have been, but you're only 19 years old, turning 20
Yeah,
later this year. So you're still a
yeah.
bambino, especially if you're going to look at throws. But what you've already achieved this season, I'm sure, I don't know, I know you're expecting it, but I'm sure you were a bit shocked to see how well everything just, came along this season or not. I don't know. How has it been so far this year before we get into other stuff?
Um, well, I think this year was just, I feel like everybody came to this year with a lot of frustrations, especially athletes, because of
Yeah.
last year. Like we were just
Hey.
practicing. All of a sudden, especially here in America, because the moment our outdoor season started, cut off immediately. And all of that training that you had done the previous year, now all of a sudden
Gone.
means nothing.
Hey.
And a lot of people cried about it, a lot of people were upset about it. Then you had people like me who are just angry about it, and we just, we put that into our training. We're like, you know what, it's fine. Next year I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in. And it's you're building up all of this tension, all this frustration, and then when this year came, it's just like finally I'm gonna release it. And the thing is, like, I think the important thing for me that I had was like last year I had my expectations and I knew what I could have done last year. And I kind of knew if I got to this mark that I wanted last year, then I knew how I wanted to progress for this year. So instead, I just kept progressing as if, okay, I knew this year I would have done that because that was my mark. So I'm gonna make
Yeah.
as if I have gotten that mark last year and I'm moving on to this year. So I went into the same mindset this year. I had the expectation, I knew what I was capable of, but even though you're capable of something, the moment you go and do it, you're still like,
Yeah.
wait, I did it.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah,
It's amazing. I think it's the mindset you had, man, was exactly the type of mindset. I think a lot of people did it, and I mean, I think it shows in a lot of performances where guys were like, you know what, it's not going the way we wanted to, but now here's another opportunity. Here's an extra year
mm,
where instead of getting disappointed and getting yourself too down, you just find a way to just use that energy or frustration or anger to train better, to become better, and just master your craft. So yeah,
yeah.
well done on doing that, man.
Thanks,
That's
thanks.
the way. So let's start in the beginning. Obviously, I just wanted to touch on that because obviously there's a lot of excitement around what you've achieved. 60, throwing 65, or immediately puts you like top 15 in the world, unless if
Yeah,
I don't know if somebody threw yesterday or anything, but if not, top 15 in the world, that's crazy, man. It's at 20, at 19, well, 19 turning 20. That's massive, especially because we're already in June. If it was earlier in the year, we can say, oh, yeah, yeah. But this time of the year, a lot of athletes have thrown. I mean, just behind the Jamaican, what is it?
yeah,
Yeah. So that's crazy, man. So big
yeah.
ups.
I must say, like, never in my life, because I mean, Frederick Dacos, I've been watching him for like four years now, right? I've been watching
Yeah.
Frederick Dacos for 4 years. Never in my life did I say, or at least this soon in my life, I would say that I am right behind Frederick Dacos. I had never thought that something like that would be coming out of my mouth this year. So yeah, it's an honor, honestly.
Yeah, man. Big ups. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the beginning. Where did this journey begin? Through discus, it's not so common,
Yeah,
amongst obviously Boyland is in Boyland. There's a big, very strong field presence there, especially. Where did your journey start? Were you throwing rocks in primary school? Were you doing karate? And then you're like, wait a minute, how did this begin? Where did the journey start?
you know, I know it's meant as a joke, but that's literally how it started. I was quite literally throwing rocks.
What?
So yeah, it started like normal, like, you go to school and they're having, color athletics, like, they want to see who's going to participate for what team, and then from there they'll make a team for the
Yeah,
school
yeah,
and the school will send them to the clubs or whatever, like, that type of vibe.
yeah,
And, started with shot put because you couldn't do discus until we were grade six.
yeah.
Started with shot put and everything. And one day I came home with my dad and I told him about the whole thing because we were doing shop, and I don't know what was going on, right? And I told him about the older kids doing discus, and I was like, oh, it looks like so much fun, seeing the things go like, ooh, it goes so far. And at this point in time, I didn't know that my dad was actually like, he was pretty good back in the day with it as well.
Okay,
And he looked at
okay.
me and he was like, do you want to do it? I'm like, yeah. I was like, if I trained you, would you let me train me? I'm like, hell, yes, let's do it. So what my dad did was we had a little park nearby, right?
Yeah,
This was like in fifth grade. There's a little park nearby. And we went into our garden. We looked around at these stones and we found this little rock that was about the weight that I was throwing for shot put, right?
yeah,
And we
yeah,
took that, and that was my shot put. And we
yeah.
went into the field and we started training with that. My father started giving me the technical work and just started giving me the basics and stuff like that. And then a week later, my dad went and he bought me this small plastic disc that was the weight that I would be using the next year.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know at the time, but that put a big hole in his budget because we did not have money at that time for it.
yeah, yeah.
But my father, regardless, he went and he got it, and that's just kind of how it started. And like we trained through it, and then the next year, started with my discus career.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Who would have thought? I thought that the rock thing is like far-fetched, but
No, it's
smack
not.
bang on it.
It is nah.
It's
The rock is
amazing, man.
still there in our garden. It is still there. Like right when I walk into
Nah,
the house, the rock is right there. Yeah.
you need to frame that. That's a special rock, man. You need to frame that. Well, so how old are you at this stage when you finally decided, this discus thing is something I want to do? Was it from that point, or did this love eventually like progress as you went on?
Well, I always just kind of talk to my dad, and like he always said, like, like enjoy it and have fun and stuff. And I was, me being young, like you always like, oh, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a doctor. And
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna be a national athlete at this. So my dad looked at me and he's like, okay, keep saying that. He's like, do you believe it? Every year he told me, do you believe it? Do you believe it?
Come on, Dad.
And like, he kept like putting like these little mental cues in me, just trying to like build it up slowly. And when eighth grade rolled around, I noticed that I had quite an knack for this, and I was getting really good. And I was already starting to turn a couple heads in the throwing community back in South Africa. And I looked at it, I was like, you know what, I could actually maybe do this. And the ninth grade was the first time I went to nationals. And by then, like when I didn't place, I got really close.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think I came fifth or something like that. I got really close, and then I just realized I was like, you know what, I can do this. I'm gonna go for it. And I started really putting a lot of effort into it, and it just kept building. It kept building and kept building every year. I got better and better
Yeah.
and better and better. And my dad kept asking me, "Where do you want to be? Do you still have your dream? Do you
Come
still want to
on.
compete in South Africa? Is it
Hey
still your
man.
dream?" Like he
We
kept
need we need
reminding me every time.
we need to give your data bells, man, because that's a that's a solid man right there, you know? Keeping you in check. So big up
Yeah,
to your dad, you know?
yeah. Sometimes it frustrated me, but like in retrospect, when I see it today, so grateful to that man. So much love to that man. So grateful. He just kept me on that path, eh?
Absolutely, man. That's dope, man. Yo, exciting stuff. So obviously this progresses as you said, and then talk about you getting national colors for the first time. I mean, it's 2018. Obviously, that's a big year for you, you know, because generally when you under 18 or youth, that's when you get a taste of, okay, this guy's got potential, is good, but then the junior year is even more challenging. But talk about your first year getting national colors. Here you are, Bambino youth, going to you're getting your national kit. How does that feel? Talk about that experience.
I honestly, it felt like it was yo. I don't know. It's like when you set out to do something, hey,
Yeah, yeah,
and you get it done, the
yeah,
satisfaction from it. But I feel like as athletes, because we spend so much time out there in the field, so much energy, so much pain, so many like, the cramps, the this, the that, and then finally when you get to somewhere where you want it to be, you reach that goal. It's just another level of like satisfaction of happiness. It's just like something on the inside just like gives you a hug, like it tells you like, wow, you know?
yeah,
And the thing is, like, again, the previous year before that, I was also still young, and like I was so close to getting national colors and I just missed it.
yeah, yeah,
And I used that again. I was angry, I was frustrated. I went into that the next year. I took that as motivation. Went into
yeah,
the next year, and SA champion, got my colors. And it was at the right time too, because that was the year of the Youth Olympic Games.
yeah, yeah,
And but just putting on that South African jacket for the first time, I remember
yeah,
the photos I took, and just I think I went to sleep in that outfit that night. That was how
yeah,
happy
yeah.
I slept in that tracksuit. It
Come on.
was unbelievable.
Man, that's the type of passion we're talking about, man. I think it's encouraging because I like to ask about national colors because that's the answer you want to hear. You want to hear that it means that much to an athlete. That, you know what I mean. Anytime if they were to call you today and be like, "Hey, yo, Francois, we need you, man." You know what I mean? It's like a soldier. You put on your uniform, you go to war. You almost want to
Yeah.
die for South Africa. And that's the type of mentality, man. So yeah, that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. So Youth Olympic Games, I mean, it's massive, like you said. I mean, besides getting selected and the kit and all that, the competition in itself is massive. This is like it's like pretty much Olympic Games at senior level, but just for under 18 athletes. Talk about that experience and how you took that whole. Um, just explain it. I don't think everybody hears Youth Olympics. They don't understand the magnitude of the competition.
Yeah. Youth Olympic Games, in no way am I trying to like there's not a hyperbole, okay?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Is the best thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
yeah,
It is, and it is an experience like no other, okay? And I'm not only talking about competition, I'm just talking about being there, the atmosphere, the way that you are treated, the facilities that they have made for you, the clothes, the food, the people you meet. It
yeah,
was something I had only seen on TV. I didn't even think was actually a real thing. And it was crazy because they actually set up a little town like city for us that
Yeah.
nobody else could get into. It was just us. Got these big apartment complexes just filled with athletes from around the world. You had flags on them just showing which athletes were where and what athletes were what. You could walk into like a building and get like anything you wanted to drink, anything you wanted to eat at any point in time that you needed. You needed to see a doctor. You had an appointment in 20 minutes. You could go see a doctor. You could go get an x-ray. Done.
Man.
Dusted. Like that. Right?
Yeah.
And the facilities as well, because they were close by. And it was just it like you felt like royalty. You felt like you getting your national colors. You felt like this is what being international means. Like you felt like a
Means.
professional, even though, we were these little kids essentially still.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
And out on the field, when you also meet your competitors and stuff, it was nothing like ever before, right? Because these people had the potential to be the best. Like that's what you need to understand when you go to something like that. These
Yeah.
people are the best in the world. This is the
World.
best of the best, right?
Mm.
They're not here for nothing. This is not a small competition like
Not into
no
house.
no offense to Golan, no offense to that stuff, right? But
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're there, this is big time stuff. And let me tell you, when the competition came around, they showed their stuff. Okay, they
Yeah.
showed it, and you sat there, and you either let the pressure get to you or you let it bold you up. And
Jeez.
you know, but the whole shebang, TVs, news reporters, everything, bodyguards, people coming up to ask you for your signature,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
types of things, crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And you didn't have
What?
to pay a cent. You didn't have to pay a cent. We didn't pay a cent for it.
Wow. That's amazing, man. It's cool to hear because like I just wanted to paint that picture like of how big it is. You know, people hear Youth Olympic Games that they think it's just athletics, but I mean it's literally just it's all the sports, all the countries. Okay, competition time comes. Obviously, you did. I mean, for your first, like major competition, you did well. You know, ended up in the final where you finished in eighth place.
Yeah,
How was the competition and how was what role has this played in like a mind shift? Because obviously, I can tell that your life was never the same after that, and you never took athletics. You never treated it the way you would have before the competition. I'm sure it was like one of those like, whoa, this is
yeah.
for real. This is serious. Can you run us through that?
So okay, obviously at Olympics I didn't compete as I wanted to, but the format that they made was also a little different. It was also a little bit
Yeah, yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah,
But athletics is athletics. Expect the unexpected. That's
yeah,
always how it is. Um, yeah. So sadly, the format was a bit different. The first day also, weather was not in my favor. I was having a very hard time with all the rain, very wet. Hadn't really competed in conditions like that before, and
yeah.
I really struggled. Um, but the bigger problem before that was actually I had an injury a few months before that with my hamstrings, where I tore both my hamstrings. Don't ask me how I got that right. That's a different story. Um, and by the time I got to the Olympics, I had just fully recovered out of that, and I had only had about 2 or 3 weeks of proper training.
Yeah,
Um, so obviously, I had a lot of stuff on my mind. I had a lot of stuff that was bothering my subconscious, and you know, I knew this, and me and my dad knew it. Even though I went into the competition as one of the favorites, um, we knew, this, like, we can say as much as we want, but the injury and stuff, it will affect you. Your
yeah, it
lack of
does. It does.
training will affect you. So all we said was go out, enjoy it, and take it as experience.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's what I did. Um, Very sad that I couldn't compete the way I wanted to,
yeah,
but I understood that before the time heading into the competition. And obviously, the experience I gained from that is something I will take in for the rest of my life. I mean, till this day, I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't think about the Youth Olympic Games.
yeah, yeah.
Um, But like I said again, because it's actually a running pattern. If you can see, I got this disappointment and I took it, and I was like, you know what? Never, never, ever again. I'm never, ever going to let this happen again. I want to experience this again. And when I experience it again, I'm going to make sure I compete the way that I want to. And I
Yeah,
took it and I worked hard. And now knowing the standard that I needed to compete at that level, I have just my mentality to trading changed. I
yeah, yeah,
knew exactly what needed to be done. I started like the small finer things. I started focusing more on that. I started becoming very less nitpicky about things that I heard. I started like if someone
yeah,
was trying to give me advice, I would actually listen. I'd actually hear and see if it is relevant to me, if it is going to help me. Because a lot of the time,
yeah,
people
yeah,
just tend to think, people, especially when they get to that level, they tend to get like very big headed and they think, oh no, I know more than you, or I know this, or I know that.
yeah,
And for
yeah,
me, it's just, if you want to get somewhere and it's a really high ladder that you need to climb, you're going to need all the help you are going to get. And I took that and took all the information, took all the tips and everything I could get. And I worked on myself and I looked deeper in onto myself. And obviously, this also helped me with my decision to come to America, which I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
would like dramatically increase my potential because of all the competition and how fierce competition is here in America. Um, to really just push me to that place that I want to be, to push me to that quality that I want to be. And luckily, that was the right decision because it really
yeah,
did. It boosted me up to quite the international standard that I am at now. And I still think about the people I competed with back at the Youth Olympic Games. I still keep up with them. I still see where they are. So in a
yeah,
sense,
yeah,
it's like it never stopped. The like the competition it stopped, but it's still going on right now. Like I'm looking like, oh, what is he doing? What am I doing? Oh, okay, he's throwing this far. Okay, I have to push on now.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just a constant, there's constant competition. My coach likes to say, a rising tide raises all the ships. And that's what you want. You want good competition. You want to keep in track with your competition
yeah,
so you don't settle, you don't lay back.
yeah, yeah. That's true, man. Because that's the only way you're gonna get better. You're not gonna get better in a place where you're dominating and comfortable. Well, dominating is another thing, but I mean, like comfortable is another, you know. But I mean, like
Mm,
just like you said, after youth games, man, you went on to African. What is it? After the youth games, there was African under 20 championships,
mm,
where obviously you had another chance now, different conditions. There's no ordering of things at a touch of a button anymore. This is Africa, you know,
yeah.
and you better show your metal in Africa. You better show your mental toughness. It's a different ship. Run us through that, because obviously when you brought back gold as well as silver. No, I mean you brought back gold. What is it? Silver in the discus there, but obviously youth in the youth games you already won a gold before
Mm.
um, going to the Olympics. Run us through African championships, and then I want to talk about your journey to America, coming to America.
Yeah.
Wakanda all the way in America. I want to hear about that journey and how that has been.
Yeah. With okay, because now that I'm in a new age group, obviously like my weight has increased, the
Yeah, yeah,
discus of the weight of the disc has increased, so things kind of change and things are a bit different. But
mm,
taking in all of that, things that I took from last year, because a lot had happened last year. Okay, it was the Youth Olympic Games, it was my injury, and then at the same time, I was in matric, and
yeah, yeah,
putting all of this just together, there's a lot of process in your mind. There's a lot going on in your mind. There's a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of things to digest.
yeah, yeah,
And Africa's was, I appreciated being able to go to Africa's and stuff like that. But I still, because I think it was because I was still young, I was still so heavily set on that Youth Olympic Games. Like I was thinking about it too much. I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about, I was trying to force myself to get there instead of just letting um like time take its toll. Let the progress naturally happen.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And I had a good year. I had a very good year. And even at the Africa Games, I competed very well. Not too far from my season's best that year. And I got silver, which is very good. And my teammate took gold, who I originally had won earlier that year, but he came and he took the gold. Actually, and while props to him, Chris van Niekerk, I think he's still here in the live. I saw him in here. And
Big up, Chris.
yeah, and he went out, and he did his thing. And like I said, expect the unexpected. And that's the life of the athlete. You can't perform your best all the time. You're
Yeah,
not going to
yeah,
be doing your personal best every single competition. If
yeah.
that was the case, everybody would be doing it. But I went out, I tried my best, and that is what I got. And I was happy. I was happy with the results. But there's obviously a lot of stuff that I needed to mentally digest and get out. And my father also realized that. So he helped me, especially with the stress of the year, because there's just so much going on. He helped
Yeah.
me go see like a sports psychologist and stuff like that. And like we kind of just went and just untangled the entire mess, just started taking things off one by one so I could
Mm.
stop like letting such things weigh so heavy on my subconscious. Because there he is.
There's Chris.
Um
Yeah.
yeah. Because for throwers especially, actually field athletes, our events are so mental, so
Yeah.
in your head, so in your head. And if there are things that are blocking your mindset in any type of way, you need to get that out. You need to get
Mm.
that out because you need to use all that energy for your event. You got techniques, you got this, you got so much things to take into account. And once again, my dad just being the person he is, just knowing what is going on. He knew what to do. He took me there and he got it done before I came to America. And I took what I got from there and that year. That year was like a building year for me. That was like a transitioning year. I
Yeah.
think that was just like we could say the Youth Olympic Games was like, when I was harvested from the vine. And then the 2019 years, when I'm going through the winemaking process. And then right
Yeah. Yeah.
after, when I came here to America, that's when I'm kind of like, I'm settling down. I'm coming, and I feel like I'm ready to get out of that barrel now. Like I'm starting to become that wine now. Like I'm getting in there, that
Yeah.
nah, you know, I'm getting in there because my mindset has changed completely. I'm so much mentally stronger. I have so many like things and cues that I go through my head. And when things get tough, like when bad things happen, like injuries and stuff like that, they don't affect me the way that they used to anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in the day, if I got an injury, Youth Olympic Games, I think, my hamstring and this and that's gonna happen. Now it's not even like that anymore. I'm like, oh, okay, I got hurt. What do I need to do? Go get ice, do treatment, do this, do that. It's gonna be okay, Take it step
Yeah.
by step, keep going. And now like I'm taking it in a very professional and slow fashion. And yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's the way. It's showing in the way that you are performing now. I'm sure Alabama, the people in Alabama, uh, they're probably fond of the South African man. Just 15 centimeters short of the Olympic qualifier. I don't even know if this was something that was part of your plan, or to be this close, man, at 19 is it's crazy. It just goes to show, man, that the trajectory at the moment that you're taking is we're going to have a world class discus thrower. And when I say world class, I don't mean somebody who's just there, I'm talking about somebody who can literally like compete and be like, hey, we're taking Francois to Olympics or to African champs. You know what I mean? There's something that can happen. We don't know what. Something will happen. We just don't know what.
Yeah.
That's how we want to talk, man. That's end of the day. A lot of you young cats are doing, 20 years, 19, 20, Patuchedzo, 20 years also doing crazy things. And there's a whole bunch of you guys that side that are like really representing. And even back home, there's guys who are doing their thing. So it's encouraging, man. It's encouraging. Okay. I want to ask your role model. Did you have any role models coming up? Or who was somebody you said, man, I wish if I could be like this guy? Doesn't have to be in sport. Anybody that you looked up to?
Well, it's really hard to say because I had a lot of like people I would look to, especially like for discus and stuff like that. I had a lot of athletes I used to look at, and I had a lot of people that were helping me. I had
Yeah,
people
yeah,
in my life that people who you will naturally follow, you look up to, you know, like your parents, you know.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
already said that, we've seen how much my father has helped me like behind the scenes without me even knowing.
yeah, yeah,
My mother, her encouragement, her love, her constant support has also just been amazing. My family in general has just been so fantastic, you know. Um, but like in when I think about this, there's never really been anybody that I've said that I want
mm,
to be like that. One thing that my father taught me very early, very, very early in my athletics career is class. He's very good athlete right there. I love you too, man. Um, so yeah, one thing that my father taught me very, very early on was as an athlete, you know, you compete with a lot of people, right? But
yeah,
you're on your own. You are on your
yeah,
own out there. The moment you step out onto that track, right, you are alone. And it sounds sad, but because of that, you have to understand. It's fine that you're competing against other people, but your biggest competition is you. It's yourself.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
how far you're gonna push yourself, right? You know, like thinking about other people is not gonna help because you can't control what they're doing. You can't
no, of
control what's
course,
going on with them, right? What they
yeah,
do is what they do. Things are gonna happen. They're gonna do well, they're gonna do bad. What you can control is you. You can control what you're thinking, you can do what you're doing on the track. And
yeah,
that is what's important. And in a sense, I sound very selfish, but like I just started focusing more on myself. And I would
yeah,
become my biggest critic and my biggest role model. Because sometimes I'd just be so happy. Sometimes I'd be just so disappointed. But at the end of the day, I was just focused on myself. You know,
yeah, yeah,
I'd look up to people and stuff, but I'd always tell myself, I'm gonna be there one day. I'm gonna be there with you guys one day, right? And time after time, I impressed myself, and time after time, I disappointed myself. But it's just, you pick yourself up. You're human. You go on and you move. Um, but now that I'm thinking about it, um, I think someone who's been very, very, very into my life is my brother. Um,
yeah, yeah,
my brother has probably the person who knows me the best. He just knows how to get into my head. He knows exactly what's going on in my head, right? And he's the one who knows how to get me out of a very, very tough situation. And growing up with my brother, I always looked to him and I always saw what he did, especially like growing up. And he was an amazing person. He is an amazing person. He still is. And especially going into high school, where he was at high school, I used to hear a lot of stories about him, a lot of stuff, and it felt like I had big shoes to fill, right?
yeah,
But I didn't want to fill them almost. I just wanted to be myself because like I love my brother and I wanted him to, stay the person that he was. And obviously my older brother, he went out and he went into the world before I did. And I'm grateful for that because he did a lot of things right, but he also did a lot of things wrong.
mm,
And what I did was and what he also made sure to come back to me is to tell me the mistakes that he made and make sure that I would not make the same mistakes. And to that,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
eternally grateful. So in a sense, I'd say he's probably one of the biggest effects. So it's either between him and me. Which is very strange to say.
Big ups to you and your brother, man. Yeah, that's good, man. I think it's the right. I think that a lot of athletes have said that like they can't find one person. It's like a collective of traits that they get from different people, that ends up helping you build, your own character. So yeah, absolutely a good question. We're gonna wrap it up soon. Hey, time is moving, man.
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna wrap it up soon. One of the questions I want to ask is like, what is your biggest motivation? Personally, obviously you're still young, 19 years old, man. If you understand athletics and what it takes to be a world-class athlete, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. If you once you can be in the game for 10 years at that level, you know what I mean, then we can be like, you know what I mean. That's so it's still a long way to go. So what is your motivation? What is personally motivating you right now?
Hey, I think when I think about it, I just think back, man. Like the days sitting down with my parents, late nights, early mornings when the Olympic Games were on. when there was sport going on, watching our rugby team play, stuff like that, sitting there and just feeling like, the happiness inside to see your country or people representing your country doing so well.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling like, I want to be something like that. I want to be something that people can look to and just be like, I'm proud to be. It gives me motivation to see somebody else doing that well.
Yeah.
And I want to be the type of person that can, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a country, but I can provide motivation and hope to people who just see me, whoever needs it, you know. And also, now that I experienced the Youth Olympic Games, I know the feeling of meeting amazing people and being able to see the world and stuff like that. That's just also motivating for me as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, and my deep love for what I do. Right now is just, going out to train is like, it's like a dog going for a walk, man. It's like, yo, hey, I'm gonna go train. Yo, I might be sore, I might be this, it might be fitness, it might be what. But I'm gonna go train, and I'm so happy, and I love it. I'm in love with
Yeah.
what I am doing, and
Yeah.
and that's the main thing of it. You can't do something you don't love, and I'm so in love with what I do, and I enjoy it so much that's just what motivates me to go on. And I'm gonna keep pushing, and I'm gonna keep going until I can become one of the greats, and I can motivate and bring hope to people that need it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I think with that, on that note, man, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks a lot, man. I think it's amazing. There's probably after your performances already, there's gonna be a lot of call-ups, for national duty that are gonna come up, as well as we look forward to. I mean, obviously, there's big championships your side coming up in a few days. It was the qualifiers, right? So now you
Yeah.
go to
Nationals, the actual nationals.
the nationals. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So enjoy it, man. Whatever happens is gonna happen. I know you're motivated. I can hear you. You want it, but yeah, enjoy it. Don't forget to enjoy it. And yeah, keep flying the flag high. I see you in your colors there. Just pop it up so they can see Afrique du Sud, South Africa.
Afrique du Sud, Afrique du Sud. Yeah. Uh, when I
So
when I
yeah,
when
thanks
I
a
go,
lot, man.
I want to take a South African flag with me just in case, just in case,
Just you never
just in
know.
case, just in case somebody doesn't know where I'm from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But big ups, man. Thanks a lot for what you're doing for South African athletics. It is
Uh,
motivating. I mean, already there's somebody in South Africa, speaks for South Africa. There's somebody in South Africa who's gonna be like, hey, man, we can go out there and we've got a discus thrower, straight from Boland. You know what I mean? The colors are gonna be like, hey, that's in front ons ons, People in South Africa are gonna be happy, man. We celebrate it, we love it, man. That's what we wanna see. So keep shining. And yeah, we look forward to hearing more and more information about you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate it. It's been fun, and yeah, all the best to you as well, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. From Backtrack, keep shining. We're gonna be looking out, man. We're gonna be looking out. Have a good one. Thanks for your time, and yeah, have a good evening. What is it? What time is it? Have a good day. Enjoy. You still have
Yeah,
training
it's
today?
like it's almost one p.m. right now. It's
You
one in the
still have
afternoon.
training later.
Yeah, I still have training. I still have training. I still have class too. So
All right, man. Thanks a lot, Francois. Appreciate it.
thanks so much. I'll see you.
Oh, Gora Licious, Linda Kuchi Gora. Sending some love. Obviously, you know him from you guys were at the Olympics together. So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. It's been good. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It's always something to check out, man. I would really encourage you to have a little notebook here and there, take notes, listen when these guys are speaking. Because one day, you're gonna be saying this is our role model, man. It's still 19, but he's doing big things. Thanks for watching, guys. See you again next week. We'll be back. Take care and God bless. Nda.